Two.
Second side. Second side. Bucks.
So here they come for round two, and in the first round, Gus Mercurio's scorecard had Wilf Gentzen slightly in front, and of course Gentzen holds the Commonwealth title now after defeating Brian Jansen, the Queenslander in Melbourne, only a short time ago.
In what was one hell of a fight too, John.
Yeah, it sure was.
This one here, I think, is going to be a good fight. The way it's shaping up, I think Jensen's coming on a little bit strong in the first part of this round. Maybe he just, he was a bit apprehensive that first one, even though I think he just shaded the points. He still seemed to be a bit apprehensive. Tony Jones very cool, making him miss.
Yeah, so it was good work from Jones, and he avoided those two left jabs quite easily, but Gentzen has scored there.
A little smile from Tony saying that didn't hurt.
Stop, and I say so. What's that head? What's that head?
There was a little bit of head in there. I don't say it was on purpose, though.
He's a very aggressive referee, Gentzen.
Yes, he gets on top of him. You got to let them know who's boss, but if they want to turn on you, oh boy.
Oh, and a good combination from Wilf Gentzen, and again with a great combination, and the crowd here at Festival Hall is starting to rise to their local champion.
As he came through with a nice little left hook on the end of that combination, like a rip. Right hand again missed that left hook.
And this is, in a lot of ways, despite his great record, a make-or-break fight for Wilf Gentzen. If he loses again to Tony Jones, the psychological blow would be unbelievable. It'd be very hard to come back from, Gus.
Yes, I think so. It's the mental aspect plays such an important part in any sport where it's one-on-one like this.
But at this stage in the second round, no doubt, Gentzen has the upper hand and is shading Jones 1 point, but a long way to go. 12 by 3.
I like the way Wilford is spearing that left hand through there. He led with the right hand there.
Now, keep it clean. Watch your heads. Settle down.
Gee, there's a lot of spite between these two. I can see Jones from our position here shaking his head. No, that didn't hurt.
Which is an indication that it did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a batsman being hit in the head by a fast bowler and refusing to rub it, but taking 14 Panadols at the lunch break.
It gives me the idea, looking at this, that Jones seems to be very confident. He seems to know in his mind he's in control, even though Gentzen is doing very good.
Settle down.
I guess he's got to guard against overconfidence. If he's knocked him out once, he was still behind on points on that occasion, and, and he's sitting back and probably not doing quite enough work at this stage, Gus.
No, not enough. I like the way he did that, though. He slipped that left jab of Jensen's, dropped to his left and then ripped that little short left inside. It was very nice. Made a miss. Again, another round for Wilf Gentzen.
So Gentzen leading on points on your card, and here we can see why, Gus.
Yes, look at that. Good right hand, followed by a left hook there. They just caught, look at that, a left and a right, and a little bit of left hook there. Good punches, a right hand, another right hand. That hook hurt.
Well, Gus, if I was in Tony Jones' corner right now, I'd be telling him to work a little bit harder. He's not doing quite enough.
No, he's got to step on the gas just a bit, because Wilf Gentzen, as you saw from the replay, is landing some beautiful combinations. And Tony doesn't want to be too overconfident, letting himself get too far behind, thinking and pull it out again with one punch, because Wilf wants this one very, very bad. We just have to see how well Tony turns on the gas, if he can.
Well, he's been throwing out the left jab well in the first couple of rounds, but he hasn't been following it. He hasn't been bringing the right hand over.
No, and I don't know why. I don't know why. There doesn't seem to be any damage. There hasn't been anything about a damaged right hand. But Tony Jones just playing it cool, watching Wilf. He seems to be in control, even though he's lost the first 2 rounds on my card.
His corner did do a lot of talking to him, though, in the break, and
watch your heads, both of you.
I think we may see a little bit more effort from Tony Jones in this round.
Well, Wilf has got to keep the pressure on if he wants to beat this guy. But still in all, we gotta say too, John, that in the back of Wilf's mind is the effects of that first fight he had with Tony Jones. He's got to be careful there. He can't let himself get too careless. But by the same token, he's got to take the fight up to him.
Yeah, he can't afford not to be the aggressor just because he's thinking, well, if I stick my chin out, it's going to get knocked off.
Yeah.
He's got to continue to be the aggressor, and he's been doing that in the first couple of rounds. They're eyeing each other up at the moment, and this round started a little slower than the second.
I'd like to see Tony if he's going to throw that left hook the way he's throwing it, following with the right hand straight to the body. Because when we see a front-on picture of Wilf Jentzen again, just imagine what would happen if Jones threw that left hook and followed with the right hand to the body.
Watch your hits. Watch them hits.
Quick warning on the accidental headbutts from referee Denzel Creed. A fair crowd here at Festival Hall.
Well, they like Wilf. And of course, they had some oddities on the card tonight. Wilf being the headliner, looking for a junior championship in the super lightweight division WBC.
Right. Right. Right.
A little bit of inexperience there on Jeff's part, I felt, on Wilf Jentzen's part, I felt, because Tony was holding him down. Wilf really wasn't trying to do anything to get out of that when he should have.
Yes, the crowd have been treated to an interesting night with the ladies, will say, of the ring doing their bit. It was a draw, but right now is the main event, and of course they do treat their hometown heroes pretty well. Lester Ellis, another hometown Melbourne boy that the crowds here at Festival Hall always support.
And Barry was, well, Barry made his mark one way or the other.
Yeah.
And if Barry's watching this, he was the guy that kept boxing going in Melbourne for a long time. But now we've got Wilf Jentzen looking for very, very big things from him. And my feeling is that from what I saw in the first two rounds, he could very well get on top of it. That round itself was a bit hard. In fact, I'm going to make that round even.
Well, it was a lazy round from both fighters, Gus, and probably surprising when Wilf Jentzen did hold the upper hand.
Seconds out, round 4.
Yep, round 4 scheduled for 12, of course, this WBC super lightweight title. The Junior World Championship, in fact, and unusual for you to score a round even, Gus. I know you don't like to do that, but Wilf Jentzen still in front on the first two.
Yes, I don't like even rounds, and really we should try to find a winner in every single round. Normally, if you have one even round to fight, that could be one too many, but every once in a while it happens. Ooh, Wilf Jentzen, the boy in the black trunks, took a beautiful straight jab from Tony Jones, who looks more purposeful in the start of this round.
Well, neither fighter did enough in the third round, and that isn't a good sign for Wilf Jentzen, a man who'd held the upper hand for 2 rounds. You don't want to let the other guy back in, and you can see at the start of this that Jentzen has already taken a good shot from Jones.
And I notice Wilf's left eye is starting to puff up. Left eye starting to puff up. You can just see it there, a bit of a view of it. Yes, starting to close just a little bit. Tony Jones, very purposeful with his jab in the early part of this round. I think that's what Tony's going to have to do. Flick that jab out. Keep throwing the jab, following with the right hand.
He's been caught by the left from Jentzen coming underneath. But Jones is unhurt. There he says, come on, you're not hurting me.
Yeah.
Walk
and
in
Jentzen
here.
missed those punches too, of course. And Tony looking more purposeful this round.
He still looks cocky and confident, though. That sometimes can be a good sign. Sometimes it can lead to knockout drops.
Both boys have not a liking for each other, the way it looks.
No, they sure don't. And of course, Wilf Jentzen, in his professional career is pretty much an angry young man, and a good combination from Jentzen.
Yes, but he got hit with a good right hand from Tony Jones, and he came back with a 2-punch combination of retaliation, although Jones, in my feeling, is ahead on this round. Jones, of course, from Western Australia, the boy in the purple trunks with the tattoos, and Wilf Jentzen with the black trunks from Melbourne.
And Jentzen, as I was about to say, feels he had something to prove, left out of our Los Angeles Olympic team in '84 after being selected in the team. They then dumped him. That turned into pro boxing. He went to the States and trained in the Kronk Gymnasium for a couple of months, had one fight in the States, won that by knockout. And here he is mixing it with Tony Jones, the only man who beat him.
Good right hand. That hurt him. That was a right hand that actually hurt Wilf Jentzen. It did hurt him.
And Jones, there is no deduction for that, but Jones has received a warning for throwing Jentzen across the ring, but it sure did hurt him, that right hand.
Best punch of the fight. Tony Jones is on top. Tony Jones came out much more purposeful in this round. Hit him with a left hook. Right hand. Oh, another left hook. I tell you what, he's coming really good.
And he wants to go on with it. He'll go on with it all day, will Tony Jones. And that is a round to Tony Jones, the fourth.
And here's one of the reasons why. What's that? What's that? That hurt. That hurt. That was the right hand that hurt. Tony Jones goes on with it. That, of course, really, Wilf Jensen didn't have much to say about that. He was hurt.
He was hurt indeed, Gus, and Wilf Jensen has lost his first round. What would be going through his mind right now?
Well, I tell you what, I think he'd be a little bit concerned because that right hand did hurt him. Tony Jones was on top that round. Wilf still leads by 1 point at this stage, but if he has any more rounds like that, I think he's going to be in trouble. I think Tony is starting to take hold of this fight a little bit more now. He just seems to have a little edge on Wilf.
What's so interesting is we see it so often, Gus, how one punch like that can turn the trend of a fight. It can make a guy who was on top suddenly become tentative, and that's what Wilf Jensen's got to guard against. He's got to be the aggressor in the early part of this round and try and... Firstly, he's got to try and forget about that punch and try and make Tony Jones forget that he threw it.
Yes, I just got the feeling that looking at Jensen, he lost a little purpose in his jab there. His jab wasn't as snappy, wasn't as solid, even though he got through with that one. But he just seemed to be a little tentative all the way around. Tony Jones knows that he's hurt him. Tony now can say to himself, I can hurt this guy. All I got to do is hit him one good shot and I got it.
And we've already seen it. We've already seen in this fight, too, just how good Tony Jones is on his feet. He can avoid most of those punches simply by moving back. He's doing it well. And a good exchange, this.
Look at those uppercuts. He's well on top. He's well on top. And as we called Wilf Jensen's eye earlier, that left eye of his is starting to puff up a bit. Tony Jones is getting in with his left uppercuts, getting in with the right uppercuts. Those rips, he's landing punches that what he's letting go with, he's landing.
He was caught by the right hand, but you could see then the right hand from Jensen did nothing. It didn't even rock Jones's head. His punches are starting to lack power, and you can notice now that the crowd is starting to lack enthusiasm a little bit too. They're thinking their hometown boy is in a little bit of trouble, and I'd say they're right.
Yes, I think he is in trouble. What is he going to have to do? He's going to have to watch his defense a bit closer. He's going to be a little bit careful of keeping his hands up, move his head a little bit more.
Well, he's still in front, Gus. He's got to finish this. We're about halfway through this round. He's got to finish this round well now. He can't afford to lose two on end. And once again, we see the great evasive skills of Jones there, ducking straight under.
Yes, he's hard to hit clean. Jones is hard to hit clean. That's a nice little jab that landed there, but Jones coming back with left hooks, got hit by a jab again, but not really doing any damage to Tony. Clipping those punches fairly well. Got hit with one of those three.
Right, step back.
Of course, Tony Jones, the younger of these two fighters. Jensen has a year on him, but they're almost identical in professional experience.
Good jabs from Tony. Picked them off twice with that. A right hand just about got through. Tony Jones is even the fight up in my mind right now.
Fight around, hasn't he?
Yes, I think people at home will start to notice now that hunger that was in Wilf Jensen's eyes early started to be replaced a little bit by nervousness, and for my mind, he was thinking back to April and that knockout.
All right, let's go back to the action. It's the start of the 6th, with the cut above Wilf Jensen's eye gradually getting worse.
Wilf Jensen's corner's brought the cut man in, Gus, just above the left eyebrow.
Yes, it's a dangerous situation now, going into the 6th round with a cut opening up on his left eye, because the last 2 rounds were Tony Jones. Tony Jones is coming right into this fight, evened up the points, and Wilf is on dangerous ground right now.
He sure is. We've already spoken of the psychological advantage that Jones holds with that knockout, and of course, he almost had Jensen on the canvas. It looked like he may have gone down in the 4th, but then he tried to get back up, and of course, Jones ended up with a warning for spinning him over the ropes, but at this stage, Jones looking on top, looking the aggressor, and he'll want to hone in on that cut above the left eye. He'll want to work away at it. There was a chance at least.
That part there, you see where Jensen complained a little bit. Now, obviously, Wilf has not got his mind strictly on the fight. There are other things that are intruding on his concentration, and that's a bad spot to be in.
Well, those kind of complaints are often notes of boxers who are looking for a way out. They're looking for a little bit of respite and...
The punches up. Keep them up.
Yes,
Keep
just
them up.
when fighters start to complain, there's always something else going through their mind. They're not really got their mind on the job. Not saying that Wilf is looking for any easy way, but I think he just has to concentrate on exactly what's happening. He threw a right hand coming out of a break. It was not an illegal punch there. They broke on their own accord. Tony Jones.
Once again, avoiding those punches well.
I was just going to say, he's evading those punches very well. I think if he bangs that left and left, follows with the left hand and follows with the right hand, I mean, bang, 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 left with the right hand, he's in business. There it is, two, but Wilf flipped it and came back with a left hook as a counter. Not enough.
And he's still avoiding those punches. None of those land. The lefts from Wilf Jensen.
Bring it up.
Denzel Creed, the referee, the man we saw, handled so well too. He handled it very well, the Mad Dog Miller-Jeff Fennick fight. And of course, Mad Dog doesn't want to be known as Mad Dog anymore. Forgot about that, Tony Miller. His mother doesn't like it, but we're looking at Wilf Jensen and Tony Jones right now.
Yes, Wilf Jensen in the black trunks, the Melbourne boys, having a bit of problem with this WBC super lightweight junior champion.
What a mouthful. Andy was caught by an uppercut and another good left
hand.
From Tony Jones, a very nice left. Had it straight through. He's throwing his punches straight from the shoulder.
Right.
Very neat in his work.
Punches, keep them up, Tony.
Didn't think he was too low there. Tony's flashing that left jab in. He's on top in this round. Even though Wilf came back with a little bit there, Tony's still... another jab from Wilf. Keeps it up. He could take the points.
Tony's still breaking every time after that with a smile, and there it is.
One more warning. Pull him down, you go.
One more warning, and there will be a point taken away from Tony Jones. That's for low blows. I didn't think they were quite that low, but he received 2 warnings in that round.
Seconds out. Round
Seconds out,
7.
Seconds out.
Yep, start of round 7, and we'll see the eye of Wilf Jensen is not looking all that healthy, and that'll just spur Jones on even more.
Yes, Jones has got a target now, that left eye. And that right hand that Jones flashes out, he can do a lot of damage on that eye. His punches are speeding to their mark. He's doing some very good work, and his evasion is good. Being that evasive, of course, is very frustrating for the other fighter.
And also, if you're not taking that much punishment, which Jones hasn't done as a result of his excellent evasive skills, he's not being worn down. He's not as tired as Wilf Jensen. The more punches you take, the more tired your legs get.
Yes, because the guy that's swinging and missing is taking a lot out of him, too.
Yeah.
Really. Wilf Jensen has the fight now has slipped away from him, but he's 1 point behind on my scorecard. Jones came on strong the last 3 rounds, hurt Jensen very badly, and he appears to be on top. He appears to be getting a little bit more confident too, even though that was a beautiful left hand.
Yes, it was a nice jab, and he did what he wasn't doing in the previous 2 rounds. He threw that out straight and threw it out straight at its target. But of course, Tony Jones, the way the feeling is between these two, and the tension at ringside is unbelievable. A good left hand, but it was followed by Tony Jones. But Jones will be looking for a knockout, and he's warned for holding the back of the head. Of course, he received a warning earlier for pulling Jensen down, but Jensen has developed a habit of getting pretty low, Gus.
Yes, he has, and also I noticed that he's holding back a little bit on throwing his punches instead of taking the lead. He threw a left lead there, of course, but he's not precipitating the movement.
Well, look at his eyes, Gus. You can see his eyes. They don't have the determination they'll get at the start of the fight, and the man who's looking hungry is Tony Jones.
Yes, it's unfortunately he's starting to look like a hurt fighter. And I got a lot of regard for Wilf Jensen. I really thought and really continue to think that this guy's got a lot on the ball, but Tony Jones looks like he's got the wood on him.
Often happens. You meet a guy, you can beat plenty of guys that may be able to beat Tony Jones, but you run into that one man, and he just has that edge. At this stage, Jones is displaying that again. Tremendous evasive skills. He evaded the left and right, and then again the left. He's been caught with 2 there, though.
Wilf Jensen's still in there, but he's flicking out that left jab. He's not landing with anything else. Nothing hurtful. Whereas Jones, look at that right hand. That was That was a hurtful punch. Jones's power is there, and it's obvious.
Stop! Watch your head. One more time. Box.
Yeah, Creed, and maybe could have done that earlier. Jensen's habit of bringing his head in towards Tony Jones, and another round, I would say, on Gus Mercurio's scorecard to Tony Jones.
You got it, pal. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Tony Jones is 2 points in front, and the Gus, I guess this right hand tells us why.
Yes, sir. He's got a bang. There it goes. More purposeful in his punching.
Well, they're still working on the eye of Wilf Jensen in the
Seconds
corner
out.
as we go in for round 8. And we know how Tony Jones feels about Wilf Jensen. I saw an interview with him on Channel 7 that our Melbourne boys did with him. And Tony Jones said that he wanted to stop Wilf Jensen. At this stage, Jensen, while he looks tired, Gus, he hasn't really looked like he's been going down, but who knows?
Yes, well, of course, this is the 8th round of a 12-round fight. There's 5 rounds to go, including, look at that. That left grip, that left tackle and uppercut. That was a punch that hurt. Wow. I would have, no count, I would have counted that as a knockdown because he got hit.
Well, Jones didn't help his cause by pushing Wilf Jensen down, but he's all over him right now, and
he hurt him.
Jensen, that surely will be a count.
Yeah, but I would have thought that the first knockdown, the first time he was down was a knockdown. Should have been a count because it was that left grip that hit him and hurt him.
Well, only moments ago I said that I didn't think Wilf Jensen was going down, but right now he's starting to hang on. He's starting to want to hang on just to survive. He's got a long way to go in this round. It's only about a minute in.
Oh, he's got a long way to go in this round. And Tony Jones, much more purposeful, hitting with plenty of power. Jensen can't hold him off.
Yeah, this looks dangerous for Wilf Jensen. Tony Jones has had 8 knockouts. He's looking for another one. He's holding him down, but then Jensen is also sticking his head into his navel. It's
yes. It's a time now that Tony Jones picks his punches, takes a look at him, and picks his punches. Gives himself punching room.
Oh, yes, Wilf Jensen is in real trouble.
Severe trouble.
Again, he's pushing him down, but Wilf Jensen really
contributing.
Yeah, Wilf Jensen's contributing to that. Denzel Creed warned him again, but Wilf Jensen, look at that. He's got his head down again. He's just trying to survive. I wouldn't be surprised that if Wilf Jensen takes any more punishment, we'll see Denzel Creed do something about
yes,
this
he's
fight.
very wobbly on his legs, very much so. His eye has opened up. His eyes. This got to be. There it is.
Yeah, it had to happen, Gus.
Yes.
A good combination, the right and left from Tony Jones. A TKO, it seems. It has been stopped by referee Denzel Creed. That takes his KO record to 9, 14 wins.
I'd like to call the chairman of the Professional Boxing Control Board, John Hare, the national president of the Australian Boxing Federation and Pacific Boxing Federation chairman, Frank Quill, all in the centre ring, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is over 12 three-minute rounds for the World Boxing Council and Championships Committee chairman, Antonio Sierra, and is being witnessed by the Professional Boxing Control Board, John Hare. Supervisor of the fight is Frank Quill, president of the... Tonight scaling 63 kilos, 9 stone 12 and 3/4 pounds. 15 contests, 14 wins, 11 KOs. Only lost to this man, Tony Jones. The wicked record of boxers' best lays, strategies and sequences. The challenger, White Lightning, Wilf Jensen. Introducing in the red corner, the reigning WBC Super International Super Lightweight Champion. Tonight scaling also 63 kilos, 9 stone 12 and 3/4 pounds. Turned professional February 84. 16 contests, 13 wins. He's beaten 7 international fighters. Former amateur national champion, Oceania Games champion, trained by Laurie Flanders. the champion, the tantalizing, tempestuous terror of ring ruin, Tony Jones. Tony Jones in the red corner. Your referee from Queensland, Kellinger, Queensland, the man who handled the Jeff Benek, Tony Miller, Australian Featherweight Championship to perfection, Denzel Creed. Denzel Creed, your referee for this contest. Both boxers, please come to center ring.
I'd just like to remind you that when I call break, I want you to stop punching, take a step back before you continue. Do you understand? When I say stop, I want you to stop boxing until I order you to box on. In the case of a knockdown, I want you to go to the furthest neutral corner and I ask you to continue. When the bell rings, gentlemen, come out fighting, defend yourself at all times. Thank you.
Seconds out, round one.